We will be talking about how to integrate iPads in your classroom, specifically for literacy learning, as that is the focus for this website. Before integrating iPads in your classroom, it is important for you, the teacher, to first be comfortable with using them yourself. If you have never picked up an iPad, now is the time to get acquainted with one. Your comfortability will impact your students, either good or bad. Why should we use technology in our classrooms? Technology not only connects to all content area standards when used appropriately, but also to the ISTE standards for both students and teachers. Technology meets specific learning needs for diverse learners. Technology is engaging for students, which causes an increase in student motivation. In turn, it is seen to increase student achievement. First, you must choose an app that best fits the needs of your students. When choosing an app, it is important to ask yourself these questions. What content area is my app for? What are my objectives? What do I want my students to learn? What age am I teaching to? Are the features distracting or engaging? Is the content inaccurate or accurate? Is the app navigation confusing or intuitive? Is the user interactivity none or high? How can this app be used? Whole class, small group, or individual students? Will the students be able to use this app independently or with adult assistance? How do I want the technology used? As a substitution, amplification, modification, or redefinition? Once you have chosen an app, walk yourself through these questions. If you are able to answer these questions positively, you have found your app to use in the classroom. For literacy instruction, you want to focus on important features within the apps too. These features include concepts of print, phonemic awareness, phonics, word recognition, language development, vocabulary, comprehension, and writing. Let's say you chose the app Vocal Zoo to work on language development. The objective while using this app is for the student to recognize and match animal sounds with their corresponding animals. For this app, I would be teaching to young learners pre-K or younger. After viewing the app myself, I have found the features to be engaging, content to be accurate, navigation to be intuitive, and interactivity to be between high and none. This app would be used for individual students and could be used independently or with adult assistance. This app would be used for the purpose of practice, amplification of content, or a substitution once the student is using the app independently. To begin integrating the app, I would first discuss the content information with the student, animals and their animal sounds. Then I would find a constructive way to integrate the app, finding an effective app to use. We have already done this. Next, I would explain and model the literacy content using the app. Then the students would have the opportunity of guided practice with the app. This would eventually lead to independent practice of the app Vocal Zoo. This process is known as the instructional framework for guided release or responsibility. It ensures the students are using the app to enhance the content knowledge, and the technology will not become a distraction. Throughout this process, there are some aspects to consider carefully. They include: take time to thoroughly and critically evaluate apps before using them in your classroom. Talk to your colleagues. Be clear with your objectives. Always put students' needs first. Test your apps before allowing student use. Think about how you'll introduce the app. How will you scaffold student learning? Reflect on your lesson with the app. Ask for your students' feedback. Make adjustments when necessary, and don't be afraid to try again. Now that you have learned how to choose an effective app and listened to a brief example of integration, it is your turn to try. Choose your objectives for a literacy lesson. Research and find an app. Use the app for yourself. Go through the checklist. Then write a lesson that could be used in your own classroom. Ask yourself, how would this app positively impact student learning?